or va means or, archayet means worship, abrita atma, one who is fully self-controlled. Now, abrita atma, one who is fully self-controlled. Actually, I want to just give one glimpse here that it says abrita atma, one who is fully self-controlled. Now, self-controlled is a very is actually the make or break of us ours in Krishna consciousness. See, how do I put it? Self-control. Now, we all are given a body which works in its own control, right? The senses work with they controlling our, ourselves, and uh, the senses are dragging us to different directions, and it's very difficult to know when senses are controlling us or we are controlling the senses. Definitely, it is very difficult, very easy to know, when senses are controlling us. Because when senses control you, you feel it's your right to enjoy in a material world, because senses are not spiritualized for people like us. We have not yet fully spiritualized. And that is why a human body has six gates, nine gates in the body, and they have to be one by one and simultaneously spiritualized. But it just cannot happen until unless we don't follow full Krishna consciousness. So if we follow full Krishna consciousness, then we become fully aware about the about senses controlling us or we controlling the senses. Of course, when we know, and a very simple example that how the senses are controlling us this new year, if you go and see, there was alcohol consumptions everywhere in the world. Now, for few people, they feel alcohol consumption is perfectly normal. But somewhere we all know that, alcohol is not something which is really helping any individual who drinks that, right? So if you really think from a very spiritualized perfect perspective and a very higher knowledge, you will understand that alcohol consumption, even by anybody who is even a devotee or not a devotee, can stop it, and there is life beyond it. Okay, although all these classes are recording, I don't want to dwell too much into it, but that's one perfect example that when we just follow our senses, we get fully controlled by our senses. And a perfect example is that somebody realizes that I should not consume alcohol, or I should follow Ekadashi. Vaikunt Ekadashi is coming very soon. So I should give up grains that day. And we follow that. That means I am forcing my senses to follow a path which is spiritualized. That is a perfect example that you have controlled your senses that day in a considerable way. At least the senses of food, taste, and all that, right? Senses of tongue. So you feel like speaking anything to everybody, but there is a Veda, there is a Vegam, Isha Upanishad talks about this, right? Vedascha Vegam. It means there is a Vega, there's a force of all the Indriya which are pushing us in one direction. But when we try to control that direction and give it a different direction, which is towards Krishna, that is called as full control. So fully self-controlled, a person who's controlling his senses minus Krishna can never be fully controlled. So that is known as Abhrita Atma. An Atma which has realized that I am doing every activity for the pleasure of Krishna, samsiddhi haritoshnam, can only be fully self-controlled. Otherwise, this word itself, the whole class can finish. Abrita Atma. It's such a beautiful, such a big word. So, who is self-controlled? Abrita Atma, one who is doing all the efforts to become Krishna conscious, and he is not bothered about the result. He's only just bothered that since Acharyas and my Guru Maharaj and the senior Vaishnavas are telling me to walk in this direction, whether I meet the success or not, my duty is to continue in that direction. Of course, making personal progress, making personal introspection, whether I'm really improving or not. It's not you're just following, you're just doing and continuing all with abnormal, wrong activities as well. Abominable. There's a word, right? I mean, you all know better English than me. So those wrong activities, when you come out deliberately, then you are fully self-controlled in Krishna consciousness. So Muni means a great personality. So such a personality, Abruta Atma, is a very great personality, and he is Sanatana, peacefully, Yatava, controlling the force of talking, and that's what I was saying. And Mita, frugal, Vanya book, eating whatever is available. And believe me, I'm already personally reading Bhagavatam second time um, in this lifetime, but I didn't. Whatever examples I gave, it's just word meanings also talking about the same, right? The force of vacha and force of eating. Good. All right. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it is possible to worship a form of the Lord made up of physical elements such as water, earth, water, pulp, wood, and metal. In the forest, uh, are you devotees are able to hear me properly?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Today somehow I'm not using my Bluetooth. Next time I will use, then I don't have to shout. But it's okay. A devotee who has full control over his self should be in the forest. One can make a form with one more than earth and water. Worship him in the forest. One can make a form with no more than the earth, water, and worship him according to the above principles. Right? What form? Form of the Lord with physical elements. That's what we do as Arch Vigraha, right? We create a Vigraha based on the Shastric description, and then we worship that Lord. A devotee who has full self-control over his self should be very sober, peaceful, and must be satisfied simply by eating whatever fruits and vegetables are available in the forest. Now, before I get into the purport, please understand one thing. I gave you one big example. Sometimes I really realize if I run away also in the forest, is it so easy for this kind of format of life in which I am? I'll give you my current example that because it's written you go to the forest life, but can you really take a forest life? Practically, okay. So somebody tried unmuting me. So okay. So imagine if me and you all think that we just run away and sit in the forest, is it practically possible in today's format of life? Answer is simply no. I'll tell you, I was in Electronic City. I told you a couple of times. I want to mention this. It was a very big realization that day for my life. Uh, I had a client visit at around 7 in the morning, and I woke up very early. I tried finishing my rounds, but I could not finish them because I had to reach to office, which is around 13 kilometers, Electronic City. I mean, reaching the campus and walking in the campus at 7 in the morning. Imagine how early I can, and 12 in the night, I had reached home because I was preparing for client meet. So I had hardly few hours to sleep, but I wanted to, I mean, generally I have a tendency that if I don't do my rounds in the morning, I get mood swings. Let me be very frank. Mood swings in the sense I feel very discouraged that if whatever I'm doing is all useless because I have not chanted in the morning. Until unless you are sick, like we were down in Corona, generally I don't miss my rounds. Generally, I mean, if you ask me when did you miss your last round, I don't know. I don't really remember. So I have developed that tendency in past 22 years, and sometimes I feel is it it's good that you are, but it should not become psychological also. But actually a lot of devotees said they also feel the same. It's better to be psycho frenzy, I should say, for Krishna, because if you don't feel missing chanting, then what are you doing in this life? Let me be very frank. Then मैंने 24 साल जो इस्कॉन में बिताए, 20-22 साल इस्कॉन में, अगर मुझे चैंटिंग ना होने का दुख नहीं हो रहा तो व्यर्थ है मेरी जिंदगी. मतलब then useless I am. Let me be very frank, right? I mean, what have I understood? I have, my parents taught me some engineering, then I did my MBA, and I'm somewhere in some manager, senior manager in my company. All of that is useless if I have not understood that something good I'm not doing in my life, and I don't feel guilty about it. Then no, I better to be that psycho frenzy, at least that much. It's like yesterday somebody asked a question to Prithu Maharaj. Tell me, Maharaj, is it, he said that while cooking, while eating, while bathing also, he said, while in office, if you get chance, keep hearing. So somebody was, he thought that he can ask this question. So some devotee asked in a very humble way that, Maharaj, will it not be an inattentive hearing when inattentive hearing is not good? He said, inattentive hearing is still better than not hearing. So that answer. So ये तो हमें समझने की बात है, इतना तो समझना आना चाहिए कि कुछ नहीं करोगे तो mind will bother here and there, and you'll keep thinking how I look. Why do we put tilak? Because then, tilak should, people put very light tilak. I don't know why. Put as much as dark tilak you can put. I mean, if the chandan, try to take a rock chandan or try to take any chandan, try to put very dark tilak so that when you look your face or somebody looks at your face, he's looking at your tilak, not on your bodily features, right? So, and that's why we wear dhoti and kurta, because that's not so, you know, how I should say it makes you feel very down to earth, right? I mean, you don't have to show your muscles, in the sense, and you show your looks. So then, it's all natural, right? I mean, if we have not risen above our body form itself, then I mean, we have not left tea and coffee in life. How are we going to get Krishna? It's impossible. मतलब 22-23 साल के बाद, if my senior is telling Prem Radha, you don't even understand these basics, then I'm good for nothing person. That's what I take myself. Okay. Uh, it's up to individuals, how do they take themselves, hearing these classes for 2 years, 3 years, and Prabhu, I have not started chanting, then who takes care of you, ma? Nobody can take care of you. माँ बाप जन्म के साथी होते हैं, गुरु भी आपको थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज दे सकता है. Just 2 days back my guru Maharaj sent here, I can show you the way, up to every individual what you do, period, khatam. So let's be mature. All right, purport. It is essential for a devotee to worship the form of Lord and not only meditate upon the form of the Lord. Within his mind, with the chanting of the mantra given by the spiritual master, the worship of the form must be present. Right. So the impersonalists take unnecessary trouble to meditate upon or worship something impersonal, and the path is very precarious. We are not advised to follow the impersonalist way of meditating or worshipping the Lord. The Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship a form of Lord, a form made up of earth, water, because in the jungle, if it is not possible to have the form of metal, wood, or stone, the best process is to take earth mixed with water, make a form of the Lord, and worship him. The devotee should not be anxious about cooking food. Whatever is available in the forest or in the city, among the fruit and vegetable groups, should be offered to the deity, and the devotee should be satisfied eating that. But since we are not satisfied eating that, the whole problem starts there. That is why we are not fully controlled. We are not Abhrita Atma, because we feel we need everything best in life, and we keep comparing. I mean, I am myself a subject to this foolish mentality. I also see Krishna, that devotee is also like me. He has got this. Why I didn't get? And so I make sure that I get it. And in the end, you lose peace of your mind. But remember one thing: Krishna will not give you if he really doesn't want to give you. If we all think that Krishna is going to just please us, I think he is the only, and that is why he is the Kevalabhyam. He is Prashantam Abhayam, Avishokam. He never gets disheartened. He's Abhayam. Nobody can make him fear. If you try to blackmail him, nothing happens. Nothing works out. Nothing works out. He one who can tease Radharani. We are nothing. He can tease Radharani. He can tease all the Ashtakis. He can tease anybody in this world. Tease means he can, spiritually play with you. So you can अपना जोर दुनिया में चल जाएगा, कृष्णा पे नहीं चलता. Totally. But yesterday or day before yesterday, I was hearing a lecture where It was in Hindi, and he said, Krishna kabhi kisi ka bura nahi karta. And I was thinking, he's so right. I mean, I might have personally, mentally blamed Krishna, I think, couple of times, not several times, but at least couple of times on few things. Krishna, why this to me? And sometimes I've been very ashamed in blaming Krishna. But then sometimes I say, Krishna, what to do? At least I'm not telling others, but I'm just telling you I'm suffering, man. I mean, if you don't help me, who helps me? And I think I discussed this with a lot of seniors, and they say, yeah, it all happens with us. It is a huge cycle, a merry-go-round mentally with Krishna. We live all the rasas with Krishna mentally. That's why Krishna says, I reciprocate individually with everybody. And that is why, except our Guru Maharaj and the Parampara, nobody can claim, I can deliver devotees. अबे तेरे से अपने पैंट तो उतरती नहीं, तू अपना कपड़े तो उतार नहीं सकता, सुबह उठ नहीं सकता, मुंह नहीं धो सकता, डिलीवर करने की बात करता है. How can we think I have given this book to somebody, he will get delivered? No, we say Prabhupada gave the book through me, the Parampara gave this book, I distributed this book, I did this, I gave this class. And Krishna says, you fool, number one, this I को remove करने के लिए. Spiritual world also, we feel, oh, everything moving around me, am I the center of creation? And then Krishna says, you are not the center of creation, my dear boy. I am the center of creation. You are meant for me, and then I am meant for you. Or you can say, I am always meant for you, and you are always meant for me. But we don't realize that. And we say, I, ankar, मैंने किया, मरो. कृष्ण कहता है, जाओ, पुनः जन्म पुनः मरणम. जब तक ये रियलाइज नहीं करोगे कि the senses, the three modes of material nature were governing you. If you are able to give class because your parents sent you to a school, you got educated, my dear friend. They would have never sent you to a school, you would have never got educated. Prabhupada की books पढ़ना तो दूर की बात है. तो उतना ही माँ बाप के सामने ही झुक जाओ कि तुमने मुझे शिक्षा दी तो मैं भागवतम पढ़ रहा हूँ. What to talk about spiritual master? What to talk of? First, surrender in front of your own mother, father, and say, if you would have, अगर मेरे माँ बाप ने मुझे पैदा करते ही गला घोट दिया होता तो you would have been born. They would have left you to orphanage. We could have seen anything. Some life would have progressed. So that brings humbleness to us. And all this knowledge, what I am saying, needs a base. It needs a starting point. And what is the starting point is exactly what is mentioned here in the Shastras, here in the Bhagavatam. When Narad Muni tells Prahlad Maharaj, go and worship, he tells him to worship the Lord. So here he's trying to take the Lord in a very precarious condition, in a very jungle is a very very difficult situation. And in that situation, he's taking whatever the gadgets available with him, a mud, earth, water, and he's creating a form of Lord so that he can refer. We can refer. And if he's referring, then the reference will reciprocate. You always need a reference in your life. We take a scale. Why do we take a scale to stretch a straight line? Because we need a reference. Why do we, when we build buildings and temples, we need architect? Architect comes with lot of reference scales. He takes references. Okay, so this will be the lighting arrangement. This will be. So same way in spiritual life, it is very difficult if you don't take reference. Krishna is form and formlessness at the same time. Prabhupada mentions it in the shlokas, in the introduction of Bhagavatam. So, taking the form of the Lord, he is form and formlessness at the same time. Vadanti tat tattvam tattvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdate. Although he is Bhagwan, he is Paramatma, and he is Brahman. He is effulgent light which is coming out on his own. He is lighting the spiritual world with his own bodily light. And that light is full of knowledge. It is partial form of realization of Krishna. So that the shloka says the impersonalists. Now, impersonalists mean those who think the God is so great, since I cannot see him and I cannot know him, or I cannot, at least I can know him, but I know he's there, and I don't want to give him a form. So that is where those people, impersonalist means you don't consider Krishna as a person finally. And you feel Krishna is God, he knows he everything, but he doesn't have a form. And that's not correct. You will never be satisfied if that's the point. Even the author of Bhagavatam, even the author of Bhagavatam, Sukdev Goswami, was in the beginning, he didn't understand this form part, but later on he develops knowledge and he becomes a devotee of Krishna and he understands what is Lord. And then he speaks Bhagavatam, and then, we know today we are reading about this wonderful knowledge of, and Bhagavatam is nothing but devotees talking about Krishna, his pastimes. And so the pastimes are the symptoms of the form, right? The activities done by that form are the pastimes. Krishna killing Putna, Krishna subduing Kaliya, Krishna in the form of Ram killing Ravana, Krishna in the form of Nashingadev killing Hiranyakashipu. So this way, form of the Lord is very important. That's why it is said that he among the fruit and vegetable groups should be offered to the deity. The devotee should be satisfied eating that. Now, why devotee has to offer the prasada to the Lord is because of this interaction with Krishna. Because the whole practice of material life, we have forgotten that we worship Krishna there, we love Krishna, we in the spiritual world we do everything for Krishna, we live for Krishna. Krishna expands 1,000 times, we also expand in spiritual 1,000 times. Chandakona Upanishad speaks about wonderfully about this. And so you also, Krishna enjoys so much in spiritual world, we also enjoy so much in spiritual world, and our powers increase a lot in spiritual world. But in material world we have to discipline ourselves so that we can be in a spiritualized way with Krishna and enjoy the life in the fullest way, which is eternally we are doing. So we are used to cooking for Krishna, we are used to playing with Krishna, we are used to doing everything for Krishna, we are used to be happy, we are used to be with devotees in the spiritual, because everybody is a devotee there. Everybody loves to play with Krishna, loves to be with Krishna. So that is what Krishna is expecting us to be Krishna conscious. Just go to temples, wherever, get into devotee association. That's what you are going to finally do in spiritual world. So for that, that's what it says. The important factor is that the devotee should be regulated. You have to at least regulate because you have been given a body. It's just a chance to increase your intensity towards Krishna. That's what we learned from Bharat Maharaj. We always talk about Bharat Maharaj. He remembered the baby deer. How much time? 10. He remembered the baby deer. So we know he took Jada Bharata. Then he was a king. He took the Jada Bharata as a deer, the deer form, and then he was born as a Brahmana in the end. But he's a very highly elevated personality. But if you see the Jews, why did Jews of his entire pastime is what? So we feel that we always talk about the topmost Jews, which is, if you don't remember Krishna at the end time, you will go to whatever you think. He thought about a deer, taking care of deer. It's actually Prabhupada mentions in the deeply. I think you all have read that, or I think you are going to read that. His attention from Krishna shifts to a deer, and that's why. But all this happened because Krishna wanted to increase his intensity, his love, and care for each other. And it's not that Krishna only cares for us. We have to care for Krishna. I do deity dressing, and I understand that if I don't make the Lord wear the proper dhoti, everybody in the altar, when the curtain opens, will see the altered dhoti, and the Lord is so merciful. If you put a reverse dhoti to the Lord, though you cannot, because always when I finish I always tell the brahmachari devotee, the saffrons from Mayapur, they are more knowledgeable. I just tell them, please come and do an audit on the entire altar. So I take care of the altar, I mean, my part, but then in the end, I do jhadu, pocha, everything, and I make sure, because that's what I like to do. So some devotees join us, but then last time I asked the devotee to do an audit. So he realized that something was missing, but Lord doesn't even correct himself. That if you put him a wrong dressing to him, he's so merciful, he'll just continue like that. Okay, he can continue like that. Although he has so much power, he can correct himself. He can, but he doesn't. He said, no, let devotees do. So that's his mercy. So you need to care for Krishna. Krishna cares for you. So then the important factor is that the devotees should be regulated. Mita book. That is one of the good qualifications of a devotee. So if we have to become an Brita Atma, we have to become self-controlled. We have to adopt disciplines. So he should be satisfied to eat whatever prasada is available given by the grace of the Lord. So the grace of the Lord, that is the whole point. That is why the material world is created, that we are not satisfied with whatever we are getting. We need more and more and more. We just want to be more. We are never satisfied. I am in India. I have one house, I have second house, third house, fourth house, then I'll go to US. Then there I will go and jump in the Rath Yatra, but I want to go and earn dollars and then go to Rath Yatra. And then there a lot of problems are there. So a lot of devotees, when they go from India to abroad, they realize, oh, paisa sab kuch nahi hai, then they come back. And so this cycle is happening, you know. So I'm not saying going to abroad is bad or staying here is good or staying here is bad and going abroad is good. I'm just trying to tell you your consciousness of your mind makes or breaks the thing. So if you continue in the progress of mitabhuk, means self-regulated, to become Vritatma, to be self-satisfied, then that is Krishna consciousness. And it's everybody's individual. Knowledge, Bhagavatam is saying, I am also talking, but I need to say that when I am saying this, I need to follow it properly. All right. So this is what we are reading, is the fourth creation of the fourth order, chapter 8. And I would now request devotees to read 57 shloka. And
Hare Krishna. Shanti Mataji, you read the verse, I will read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah. पीतावधचरितैः अचिन्त्यनिजमायया करिष्यद्युद्धमश्लोकस्ध्यायेत् हृदयङ्गमम्. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Danvat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Dhruva, besides worshipping the deity and chanting the mantra 3 times a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations as exhibited by his supreme will and personal potencies. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So before somebody reads the purport, I asked this question to one of my senior devotee friend. And I said, he's very senior to me, even in age. And I think he came a couple of years before me. I think he came around 90 beginning. I came in the 90s ending. So we play, you know, he's still with me in ICCM. So I asked him one question. Prabhu, why Krishna exists in so many forms? So I know the answer, but I still wanted to know from him because I wanted to understand different perspectives. And it's many, many years back. So we know, you know, one answer is that, you know, Krishna likes to have his forms and, you know, because different, you know, chronology, different happenings in these Treta, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali, different things happen. So he comes at different pastimes because he has to achieve objectives, right? We know he made the Vara Avtara for a particular reason. Then he came in the form of Rama for a particular reason. He came in the form of Krishna for a particular reason. After all, why is he having so many forms? Then he answered very nicely, which is still resonating with me. He says, see, first of all, he is a self-enjoying person. He created us from his own body because we are Mamai Vamsha. So he's always enjoying. He never does anything bad to anybody. And when he does this variety, because he's full of variety, you know, and that's what I just said. In a lot of devotees don't know. I mean, I'm not saying a lot of I should not say devotee word, but a lot of souls don't know that they are very powerful in spiritual world. You can expand unlimited times, as you know, Krishna expands in unlimited times. As I said, Upanishad talks about this. You can expand. So you can imagine how much Krishna is enjoying and how much he has given you power to enjoy with him in spiritual world. Like, for example, somebody asked Krishna, Krishna, I want to have a girlfriend. Krishna says, you pass on this life, you'll get many girlfriends over there. He said that. Prabhupada said this to one devotee. What he actually wanted to say this is, what enjoyment you are like, trying to look around in forms of the bodily pleasures. If you just give some time for yourself and leave this life and go to spiritual world, Krishna will satisfy you in all the ways. Because here, everything can come, satisfaction will never come. So he gave an example. We all know pigeon. Pigeon mates with the she pigeon so many times. All the animals are doing that, eating, mating, sleeping, defending, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Right? So even human beings are doing that. Everybody is doing that, but nobody is satisfied. I just said, you have two lands. I need third land, fourth land, fifth land, because it's not that you are, sometimes the surrounding forces you to go that way, because everybody is doing, even devotees are doing, everybody. I'm not talking about devotee and not devotee. Devotees don't stay away from this world. They are a part of it. You see what's happening in a country next to us. Devotees are getting impacted. So they were not, then they cannot say I'm Krishna's devotee, so nothing, I'm immune to this world. No, you're not immune to this world. You have to develop immunity in the brain. Physically you are dependent. The temple cannot say, ICC cannot say, no food resources from anywhere else. Oh, I will stop taking food resources from these people because they are not good. No, you cannot. You have to run a temple. You cannot say, state cannot give me the electricity. Water, I will get a river directly from ocean. Arey yaar, let's be practical. You have to depend on so many things in this world. So a devotee who goes, adjusts, and works around and sees the best use of the worst bargain, he moves ahead. So that's what is being mentioned here, right? We devotees, we have to understand that this human birth chance is given to us just to chant, remember, and worship and service Krishna the way how we were enjoying Krishna in the spiritual world. Of course, within this, chanting is something which goes uh, background in the spiritual world. You don't have to, because you are some completely spiritualized. You won't make any mistakes over there, but you have difference of opinions of how to serve Krishna, and Krishna loves varieties. So that is the reason Krishna loves variety in spiritual world. He comes to attract different forms of so many different devotees, and some devotee will be attracted to one form. Another set of devotee will be attracted to. I know one of my senior god brother. He is so attracted to Nashingadev, and I can tell you that he himself disclosed this. I used to see he was working with me. He was doing a service of deity. I used to wash a lot of deity vessels. I still do that. So one day I saw him. Every day he's the one who will come and clean Narsinghadev. Okay, once in a month he will bring. The temple had certain things to clean. There's a process to clean a deity. So he used to always clean Narsinghadev, because the suti from the lamp is coming and it will hit the Lord. So Lord will become, a lot of oil will come, people will touch their hands. Then I said, Prabhu, why are you always doing this? I see you are only. He said, I have asked temple management special request, please give me this service. And they gave me. I said, come, do. And then I said, why? And he said, I am so attracted to the Nashingadev form of the Lord. So that's one more reason that Lord wants to enjoy variety. He actually wants to attract each devotee with different form. So this is beautiful answer, he said. And that's what is mentioned here. Okay, let's go and read the purport. And I think I see, okay, 10, 11. Yeah, we have some
Hare
time.
Krishna. Prabhu, you want to read the purport?
Yes, please, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead,
Sudha
read.
Mataji, Anita Mataji, and Suma Mataji, between three of you all, please divide the purport and read.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Ask Prabhu's also to read.
Hare
Oh, it's a
Hare
long
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat
but read
Pranam.
quickly. Read quickly.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Devotional service comprises 9 prescribed practices: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving, offering everything to the deity, etc. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is advised not only to meditate on the form of the Lord, but to think of his transcendental pastimes in his different incarnations. Mayavadi philosophers take the incarnation of the Lord to be in the same category as the ordinary living entity. This is a great mistake. The incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not forced to act by the material law of nature. The word Shvecha is used here to indicate that he appears out of his supreme will. The conditioned soul is forced to accept a particular type of body according to his karma given by the laws of material nature under the direction of the Supreme Lord. But when the Lord appears, he is not forced by the dictation of material nature. He appears as he likes by his own internal potency. That is the difference. Thank you, Mataji. Someone else can continue. Hare Krishna.
I
Hare
appreciate
Krishna.
whoever Mataji read this. Wonderful, wonderful. See how difficult it is to stop. Everybody wants to read, right? How difficult. She said, no, somebody can read. That's a very unique quality. Thank you, Mataji. I don't know you. I might have never met you, but wonderful. It's very difficult when you are reading when to decide.
Thank
Great,
you,
great.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Soul accepts a particular type of body, such as the body of a hog, by his work and by the superior authority of material nature. But when Lord Krishna appears in the incarnation of a boar, he is not the same kind of hog as an ordinary animal. Krishna appears as Varaha avatar in an expansive feature which cannot be compared to an ordinary horse. His appearance and disappearance are inconceivable to us. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that he appears by his own internal potency for the protection of the devotees and the annihilation of the non-devotees. A devotee should always consider that Krishna does not appear as an ordinary human being or ordinary beast. His appearance as Varahamurti or a horse or tortoise is an exhibition of his internal potency. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabihi. One should not mistake the appearance of the Lord as a human being or as a beast to be the same as the birth of an ordinary conditioned soul who is forced to appear by the laws of nature, whether as an animal, as a human being, or as a demigod. This kind of thinking is offensive. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has condemned the Mayavadis as offensive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of their thinking that the Lord and the conditioned living entities are on the same, or one and the same. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Narada advises Dhruva to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord, which is as good as the meditation of concentrating one's mind on the form of the Lord. As meditation on any form of the Lord is valuable, so is chanting of different names of the Lord, such as Hari, Govinda, and Narayana. But in this age, we are especially advised to chant the Hare Krishna mantra as enunciated in the Shastra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Yeah, so let's move on to the next shloka. So beautiful, it's self-explanatory here. Right?
Hare Krishna.
The most important part here, I would just mention, you can move on to the next shloka, but just want to conclude this shloka. You're right, the most important point is one should not mistake the appearance of the Lord as a human being or a beast to be the same as the birth of any other ordinary conditioned soul who is forced to appear by the laws of nature, whether as an animal, as a human being, or as a demigod. So sorry, I know these classes are getting recorded, but actually this is available only in Sanatana. That's all I can say. And here only we are talking about the form of the Lord. So Sanatana Dharma is the only dharma which talks about genuinely is, and as you all know, it's the oldest, is the dharma which is eternally present. So how fortunate I sometimes feel, we all devotees, including you, me, every one of us, each one of us, are so fortunate to directly able to talk about the form of the Lord. Krishna wears more punk, he has a flute, he has, he has a deep throat, smile, and he has deep navel. He's Tribhangi. He's bended from three fronts. He wears the Pitambari Vastra. He has the Srivatsa hair, white hair coming out from his chest, where Lakshmi resides. So Krishna is monsoon, blue cloud, whatever color. And he has beautiful eyes. He has beautiful feet. We have seen the feet in the photos, coming in the WhatsApp. Radhashtami Day, I always get some. So they show the various symbols are there in the feet of Radharani and Krishna. Beautiful. So fortunate. Because these are all facts of our life. And if we don't know about these facts, doesn't mean the reality changes. The reality is the same. The whole fact is it is very difficult to conceive for the ones who are not currently in this format dedicated to understanding Krishna consciousness. They cannot believe that वासुदेवम सर्वमिति सब जितना आप ये दुनिया में सब झंझट देख रहे हो ना. I say it during, there is a Purusha Sukti, right? They sing the sages are going to the causal ocean. I sometimes meditate on that how the Lord is being glorified and they're saying, Om Shanti, Lord, be pacified, be satisfied. In the causal ocean, Mahavishnu, Shirodakshai Vishnu is just residing in his Shaya, and the saints are singing Purusha Sukta and they're saying, बस हो गया प्रभु, आप जानते हो ये सारा ब्रह्मांड चला रहे हो यार, कितना कर रहे हो, you be happy, you be happy, you be happy. They're telling Shanti, 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 but this gentleman is not stopping. This personality of God, it is not stopping. He's just, though I am one, I shall become many. And he's creating, and his creation is running. You and me don't wake up in the morning. Bhagavatam class still continues everywhere. Temples are still, the curtains are opening, the sun is coming, the moon is there, the black holes are there, scientists are busy, the animals are busy, the air is blowing, all the demigods are busy. अरे देखो कुछ भी नहीं रुक रहा है यार. कभी एक बार सोचो तो, हम कभी ये सोचे तो, हमारे होने ना होने से इस दुनिया का कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. Nothing is going to stop. ये समझने के लिए ही जन्म लग जाते. हे भगवान, वासुदेवम सर्वमिति मत्तः परतरम नान्यत् किंचिदस्ति धनंजय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतम सूत्रे मणिगण इव. आयन, वो लेडीज करती है ना, दे स्वेटर बुनती हैं. कभी देखा है आप लेडीज को? तो देखा ही, लेडीज ने तो देखा ही होगा. दे बुन द स्वेटर, थोड़ी देर में स्वेटर बन जाती है. हमारा लॉर्ड भी ऐसा ही है. ही इज लाइक अपना वेब बुनता है. हैव यू सीन अ स्पाइडर? आचार्य टॉक अबाउट, ही इज लाइक खुद से अपना स्पाइडर बनाता है. नेट कहां से बनाता है किसी को नहीं पता. प्रभु हमारा बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है. मकड़ी है, मकड़ी, सुपर मकड़ी. हमारा भगवान जो है ना, वो बहुत इज वेरी पावरफुल. वो he creates everything out of nothing at all, as if everything is existing. He is a magician. वो चमत्कारी है. हम तो बस उसकी माया में, we are like smashed, royally beaten in this Maya. And he's creating things out of nothing at all. Vidura didn't make any sweet. If I'm not wrong, he didn't make any sweet. Vidura invited Krishna. Krishna gave the sweet. Like that, So he can create out of, you want Krishna, I want laddu. He doesn't have to go to the kitchen and create. He just give you besan ka laddu. Which laddu? This laddu, that laddu, gulab jamun, rasgulla, anything he can create. That's why he's Lord. He's 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 the reason of Kamdhenu cow. He's the reason of but he has his swecha. His wish is in itself is so great. And where this so much of world, so much of chaos is happening, yet everything is happening in a form of a dance. The dance is very visible in spiritual world. वहां नृत्य चल रहा है भगवान की लीलाओं का. And whatever Krishna does is always rhythmic. You should, I have, as we all know, right? Bhanu Maharaj so nicely talks about the sound vibrations. So his creation is full of rhythm and vibrations. So it's so deep. It's what we just don't even know a tip of Krishna. We just know tip of an iceberg. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Which shloka?
Hare Krishna.
Hari bol.
Rishabhanu Mataji, you can read the shloka. Divya Gopu Mataji, the translation.
Hare Krishna.
And Barnali Mataji, you can do the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Paricharya bhagavato yavatyah purvasevitāः tam mantra hृदयेनैव prayujya mantra murtaye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One should follow in the footsteps of previous devotees regarding how to worship the Supreme Lord with the prescribed paraphernalia, or one should offer worship within the heart by reciting the mantra to the personality of Godhead, who is non-different from the mantra. Hare Krishna, pranams.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji's Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is recommended here that even if one cannot arrange to worship the forms of the Lord with all recommended paraphernalia, one can simply think about the form of the Lord and mentally offer everything recommended in the Shastras, including flowers, chandana, pulp, conch shell, umbrella, fan, and chamar. One can meditate upon offering and chant the 12-syllable mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Since the mantra and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are non-different, one can worship the form of the Lord with the mantra in the absence of the physical paraphernalia. The story of the Brahmana who worshipped the Lord within his mind, as related in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or the Nectar of Devotion, should be consulted in this connection. If paraphernalia is not present physically, one can think of the items and offer them to the deity by chanting the mantra. Such are the liberal and potent facilities in the process of devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
So somebody wants to talk about this Brahmana who was sitting on the ladder. Somebody knows this story, can just quickly, it's in reciprocative session. So if any devotee remembers that story of a Brahmana who's too old, cannot go, used to cook, so anybody knows that story, which is mentioned here? Nobody? No problem. So I just say that there was one Brahmana used to worship, as the same one Brahmana used to cook. So one day he cooked and he wanted to touch. I think he was blind, and or he was just trying to feel that whether he's cooked it properly or not, how hot it is before offering and worshipping the Lord. So he touches the dish and his finger gets burnt. That's what he's trying to say. So everything in this world, believe me, depends upon the intent. It depends upon not on the physical aspect, but on the bhava. I'll tell you one. Yesterday, when one devotee asked a question about service, so Maharaj said, yes, service helps you in why service is so important. So Maharaj replied, normally that service enables you to chance to serve Krishna. But I know I just want to put a point here that service is physical, but can you serve at the age of 99, 98, 95, 94, 93? Not possible. Then what do you do? So what you do is, when you were healthy, you served Krishna to the satisfaction and caring of your body, how much ever you can care, and you donate that time to Krishna, and you worship him. Of course, you have to go out of your comfort zone when you are young. You cannot go out of your comfort zone as you start growing older. Everybody knows this. And Krishna also doesn't expect you. And that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say, we should offer the flowers to the Lord when they're fresh, not when they're old. So, but that doesn't mean that we don't attract devotees. We do a lot of programs. In fact, I see a lot of old devotees coming to, in my experience in Krishna consciousness, a lot of old devotees come. And in fact, I can never imagine. I have seen so many devotees starting very late in their life, in their old age. So that doesn't mean that you start late in Krishna. You start whenever you are always old, right? You started Krishna consciousness 4 years, you are 4 year old. You start at the age of 30, like I started at the age of, I think, 20. Exactly. Around 20. So at least somebody was preaching me at the age of 20. I remember. So, and then 2021, I picked up. Immediately after engineering, I was following everything. So it's a chance, right? And but that doesn't mean that at a later age, if you come, so it all depends upon the bhava, the way we try to realize things, and we try to make best use of our you know our, like it said, right? I mean, whichever age you come, it said tasmat kenapi upayena. What is the upaya in this material world? What to do to be successful? Rup Goswami says, tasmat kena api upayena. Mind, Rupa Goswami says, is very good. Mind never gets old. Body gets old. Subtle body carries the mind, and the soul is there. Soul doesn't have a different mind or element. Soul is soul itself. It's perfect. It has all the qualities of Krishna. It doesn't need any separate mind. But in material world, the mind is a separate element given to us. So you should invest mind in Krishna. So how to understand this is, in whatever, if you have very high bodily strength, you put yourself into the service of Krishna, but your mind is somewhere else, then that's not correct. I know one devote, I think one soul came to ISKCON several years back. I think it might have become a devotee elsewhere, but I had never seen it. He was he was some organization who used to sell some insurance. I don't want to name any organization. We don't take any personal names. Preaching standard, my personal preaching standard. I don't want to name anybody personally. Of course, devotees are there whom I know. I can take their names because they'll come back to me if they're not happy. But of course, we'll always take it in an encouraging way, the names of some of our friends. Otherwise, I generally don't pinpoint any organization or anybody. So this is one insurance person who came and who met me during BD, book distribution, and I invited him to a Krishna consciousness program. He came with a lot of his cards. And in the end, he was serving, he was doing this. In the end, I saw him standing at the door and giving cards. I said, "What is this?" He said, "I am giving my card. Wonderful. I love very thing. But if you all need some policy, insurance policy, come to me." And he distributed at least 100 to 200 cards, which actually not allowed actually, but he did it without nobody knowing actually. And some devotee may have said objective, I don't know, but I noticed and I said, "Why are you doing this without the permission? I mean, you're coming inside the temple, you stand outside the gate and you give, that's also okay. But that's not our intent. We are coming here to serve." So he was serving the whole day, but his intent was to give the card in the end so that he gets some business out. And believe me, I never saw him after that. But I politely said, "Sir, if you are coming for this, I called you here to serve and selflessly. All this, I can help you grow. You can help. You can go to social media was not so high that time. So you can do marketing, you can distribute, but why to do it in the temple?" I politely, and I think maybe I burnt it down, but I think it was necessary to be told because he distributed 200, 300 cards and तो मैं कुछ उसको प्यार से ही बोला, लेकिन वो गुस्सा होकर चला गया। मैं उसको दुखी नहीं करना चाहता था। मैंने कहा मुझे दे दो, आई विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट, बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑलमोस्ट 12, 13, 14 years back. But that's an experience of my life. So service, while doing service, your mind should be तस्मात् केनापि उपायेन मनः कृष्णे निवेशयत. Means you should invest. निवेश करना क्या होता है? Invest. निवेश means invest. तो निवेशयत. What do you invest? मनः कृष्णे. मन को कृष्णे, कृष्ण में. In Sanskrit you'll call it कृष्णे. कृष्ण में, कृष्णे. हिंदी में बोलेंगे mind or whichever language, English, invest mind in Krishna. So Krishna, manah Krishne niveshite. Who is telling this? Rup Goswami. So it's just not. So coming to the point, Is age matters? Age matters only that you can do more physical exercise, but if you are not investing your mind, so whichever age you come to Krishna consciousness, invest your mind in Krishna consciousness. Tasmat kenapi upayena. That is the only upaya. That is Rupa Goswami saying. Hari Bol. Let's go and finish all the remaining slokas. I think we have overshot the time, but
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti
yeah,
Prabhuji, you can
59,
read
61
the
slokas.
words.
Yeah.
Hare
Please go ahead. No, I mean,
Krishnamurti Prabhuji, the words, Divya Mataji, the translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण माता जी। एवं कायेन मनसा वचसा च मनोगतं परिचर्यमाणो भगवान् भक्तिमत्परिचर्यया पुंसा मम ईनां सम्यक् भजतां भागवदर्शनः श्रे श्रे श्री श्रेयो दिशस्य भिमतं युद्धर्मादिषु देहिनां। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone who thus engages in devotional service of the Lord seriously and sincerely with his mind, words, and body, and who is fixed in the activities of the prescribed devotional method, is blessed by the Lord according to his desire. If a devotee desires material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation from the material world, he is awarded these results. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Devotional service is so potent that one who renders devotional service can receive whatever he likes as a benediction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conditioned souls are very much attached to the material world, and thus by performing religious rites, they want the material benefits from it as dharma and artha. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So, I think we have covered all the shlokas today for the allocated
Yes,
to me.
Prabhu. Yes,
Correct,
Prabhu.
Mataji?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji. Yes. And I just want to conclude here. My experience, I say that don't wait to invest in Krishna, your mind. Don't wait. One day I will earn. Continue. I know, most of us want to improve our conditions of life. Even Devotee Care Committee in ISKCON has said that materially devotees should improve. They have said this, seeing the present time circumstances. Devotee Care Committee has come out with this resolution saying that we want devotees to be happy and joyfully perform Krishna consciousness. So there is no harm if you are trying to generate wealth for yourself, for your family, and for the difficult times. But invest your mind in Krishna. Don't, if somebody asks you to leave cup of coffee, don't wait one day I will leave coffee because then I'll take initiation. No, that should not be happen, right? I mean, that's not the idea. It's not leaving of tea, coffee. It's not leaving of onion and garlic. If some of you out here still not given up onion and garlic, it's not that somebody is asking you to leave onion garlic. That's why you leave. It's mentioned in the Shastras to leave because if you are now a Vaishnava, right? So there, the time is given, allocated same for all of us. There is no extra time given to anybody. Human birth is very rare. Make use of the worst bargain. Don't think one day things will automatically happen for you. You have to make it happen. You cannot fake it to make it in Krishna consciousness. You can fake it to make it in material world. Means you fake to say that, but you cannot fake it and make it in spiritual world. And service is one of the most beautiful thing Krishna has created, because you are able to serve, because that's the same in spiritual world, and that helps you to um, uh, Bonam Janmamante Gyanvan Mam Prapatite. That helps you to walk towards the Lord, right? Walk towards the Lord. And then surrender to Krishna. Moksha Shami Masucha. He will remove our problems of life. But nothing happens overnight. It's a process. And we have to be successful in this life itself. so that we don't come back again and we go back to Godhead and we serve Krishna in full knowledge. Anyway, whatever knowledge we have, continue serving here and help others to help, help others to serve Krishna. That's the most important thing. If you have any service, which is you are in charge of it, and someday you have to give some service to others to do the same, feel equally enjoy when your service is being done by somebody else. So you should not feel my service is me. How can others do that? Yesterday itself, I reach temple around 7:20. I leave temple around 2:33. But I usually am one of the last people leaving the main altar hall because I clean, I do the jhadu, pocha, and all that, putting chairs, mats, everything. I make this festival room, the main altar place ready for the evening class. So since I am one of the coordinator, I personally also do it. But yesterday when I was putting the broom, we have that sliding broom which collects the dust with a foam below. Some devotee came and said, "Prabhu, I want to do." So immediately I'm so attached to this brooming seva. Suddenly I said, "No, no, okay, Prabhu, you do it." There was a spike in me that no, no, let me do it. I want to do it because एक ही तो सेवा मिलती है. But suddenly I realized, no, no, no. It's always better to help others to serve. I said, Prabhu, you serve. Then he said, teach me how to put jhadu. So I was teaching him how to put broom because there's a way, right? You do this, you don't have to leave the dust. Then I was showing him, go to the black area, put the dust there, then remove. So much. So much that my temple president came and the Lord was sleeping and I was teaching him, okay, okay, you do this, okay, you do this way, this way. He came and said, hey, tum shout kar rahe hai. Lord is sleeping and you are shouting. I said, oh, I'm not shouting. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm teaching how to put a broom. He was laughing. I was also laughing. Devotee was also laughing. So, you have to sometimes take a step back for others to serve Krishna. In fact, you will realize those who do this only go back to God. Those who go ahead, मैं करूंगा, वो पीछे ही रह जाते हैं. I'll give you one perfect example. I was taking Lord Tirupati's darshan. So everybody wants to break the line and somehow go. But you will notice, until unless somebody brings and from the authority takes you forward, however you tried, until unless you take those VIP, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking because I am not a VIP. I'm a very ordinary person. I have always gone through the normal route. They will put some band or something. So I've noticed some people will try to be looking out, one break the queue and go to the next queue and beat and see the Lord and rush. That as if, I don't know, 800 crore rupees are waiting for them outside the temple. So they want to go the Lord, see the Lord in the best way, very quickly, see the darshan and very quickly move out. So Govinda, and Govinda is out. But no, that's because so many people come, that's okay. But I am saying people want to break those lines. But I have seen in my one of the chances, I have gone a couple of times. I saw one devotee, one person coming but in the end, I saw somehow they will close the corridor, then he was still with me. I said, why did he do so much to just move ahead? He's still with me. And then I saw after some time he was behind me. So I said, oh, that means it's a big lesson. We should just go with our own speed and let others, like Radharani has that attitude. She let others serve Krishna. That's why she's at the highest in devotion. Of course, Nityananda. All right, Hare Krishna, Om Tat Sat. I'm done for the class today. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhuji. Devotees, any questions anybody has? Prabhuji, can we take if anybody has any question?
How much time we have?
We do have around 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
What is it? 10 minutes?
Shanti Mataji, would you like to ask a question or was the hand raised for reading?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, regarding this Tirupati Balaji darshan, you have told the real what is going on now. So
hold on, Prabhuji. Let's not talk about Tirupati.
I am not like that. That's incident.
No. Hear me out. These all classes are getting recorded. Let me put it.
Okay.
I wanted to share one realization that
Okay.
when we are in the queue, we try to break. But let's not discuss about
Sir,
Tirupati because
I
they are
am not
very
discussing about that, Prabhuji.
okay,
My
wonderful.
experience
Let's not
is
discuss about Tirupati
no,
Devasthan.
no. My
Let's not discuss
experience,
about
my experience, I
okay.
am sharing with you, Prabhuji.
Mm.
While going to Balaji Darshan, I used to go with bead bag, and then the right from the entering into the queue till the darshan, I am going on chanting.
Mm.
If you do that way, you believe it or not, Lord will show His face, and then all this form with great glories. So
Wow.
I felt
That's
this.
your experience?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good.
Yes. I felt, and I fully, even the people who are pulling us, they won't pull us, Prabhuji. They will stand before, they will give opportunity to see the Lord a moment. So that is my experience. I have experienced it last around 3 to 4 times. I have experienced this as I am doing the same thing, Prabhuji. I am experienced. Thank you, Mata Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Sorry, I didn't know that you are. I mean, I want to be careful, please, and this is for everybody. I hear so many classes, and sometimes why I say this is because today is a social media, and we should be very soft and very. Why? I mean, yesterday one devotee was saying, see, somebody might ask me as something, Prabhu, why are you so scared if the classes are getting online? Please understand, I'm not scared with anybody. Okay, I'm not scared with anybody. Even I'm not scared with, I'm scared with doing wrong. But you have to be sensitive. So a lot of us we give classes because when we give classes, these classes get online recorded. Be careful because what we speak, why we speak, and how we speak is misunderstood in another way. So we should never do directly, and that's the reason why I'm trying to be very careful. And I've seen a lot of devotees getting into trouble, and we should be very careful, and we should respect everybody. And we cannot change the world. We can change ourselves. Change happens from the home, which is my own self. That's how we should believe. And if you're like that, I think nothing will happen. So that's the reason why if somebody feels, why Prabhu, you are getting so scared. I'm not scared with anybody. But you should be scared of, you should be sensitive. There's something difference between sensitivity and scare, being scared of. I'm not a coward, but we have to be sensitive. All right. Anybody else question?
Padma
Otherwise,
Mataji, we and Shobha Mataji after each. Be very quick. We only have
Yeah,
10
Hare
minutes.
Krishna Prabhuji. It's a very, very short question. This Srivastava, the white hair which is on Lord Narayana's chest, does Krishna also have it on his chest?
what is the difference between Krishna and
He's same. But always we talk about Narayan only with the white
yeah,
hair. That's what you know.
yes. So because see, what happens is, it's like they say, right? Krishna at home is Krishna himself. At office, he is Vishnu.
Yeah.
So in a way, if you say no, then Krishna will say no, it's there. If you say no, he can show the difference, right? So
Yeah.
the way how we take this as that there's no difference between Krishna and Vishnu. Of course, in the form of Vishnu, he's running the entire show. There, the Shri, which is the opulence or the internal potency, we call it Radharani, her expanded form, right? The Lakshmi is also that form, right? That
Yes.
fits in the chest. But ideally speaking, uh, that's how we have to understand this. There's no difference between Vishnu and Krishna. But generally, if you notice, we don't show this in the Krishna's photo, right?
Yeah, that's why I asked Prabhuji.
You can say in the spiritual world, Radharani is there. But is she not there in the heart? Is she not there? Or he's 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 16-year-old. They both are very young and they're eternally bright. So you can say that in the spiritual world, Krishna need not have Srivatsa hair on his chest. But in the form of Vishnu, yes, it is there.
Yeah, that's why I want to know the difference,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
But yes, in fact, in Vishnu, there's one more point. Vishnu, always you will see tulsi leaves, on the Vishnu's form, and the color of Vishnu and Krishna. If somebody asks me, I mean, we discussed this. Is the different color of Krishna in the spiritual world than Vishnu? Vishnu is there in spiritual world also, right? So there are 24 Vishnus. The permutation combination of Vishnu, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So
Vaikuntha, Prabhuji.
Vaikuntha,
Yeah.
Paravyum, right? Yes, the Vaikuntha.
Yes,
There are
yes.
so many.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Gyanendra, Dhanendra, Upendra, Dhirendra, Jitendra, Dharmendra. All these are not the actor's name. What you know, Dharmendra, they are the names of Vishnu. And
Yes,
each
Prabhuji.
planet, each Vaikuntha planet is with Dhyanendra, Gyanendra, Jitendra, Dharmendra, Indra, Sutendra, Sitendra, Suresh, like, or Surendra. These are all the names, just permutation combination. So there he's in spiritual world. He is Krishna only, but that's not Goluka. That Paravyuma, that main Goluka.
Yeah.
So that difference comes.
Okay,
Because
okay.
in Goluka, he is Krishna himself.
Yeah, that's what I want to know, Prabhuji, as a difference. Because sometimes these
I hope
questions
you,
do come up.
yeah, so color is the same. Monsoon, cloud, blue color,
Yeah.
whatever, if I'm able to explain you properly.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Then the pranam.
If you hear on this point something more, please do let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danvat Pranams. Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful session, because every time I'm so conditioned that every time I need someone to tell me how powerful the Supreme Lord is. So this was very mesmerizing class, I should say. I was just listening how beautifully Prabhuji were explaining. One Prabhuji confusion still I'm having is like, what is actually surrender? Like every time we are into some problem, we are told that you should try to come out of it, and if not possible and if it's not working, you should leave. So why should we even start try to come out? Why shouldn't we think that okay, the Lord knows that I'm into trouble, and he will take care? Why should I even try? Or because of being conditioned I need to try? That is a confusion, Prabhuji, please help.
So yesterday I saw Maharaj. I learned something from Kritu Maharaj yesterday. Kritu Maharaj was there. Somebody asked him a question. He said, "Let me understand your question more." I was so mesmerized by him. So let me use the same technique here. I want to understand your question more. I know it's getting late. Devotees might have to log off, but I'll try to speak loud your question. Tell me if I have understood correctly, because I am not God. Okay, यही power आपको समझ में आ जानी चाहिए कि the one who is describing about God, his himself is not God. So I am not God. So I just not able to understand what exactly you might be asking, but I'll speak loud. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay. So you said that, thank you for suggesting me that Krishna is supreme, but sometimes we are in the problem. And once we are in the problem, we try to come out of the problem. So some devotee says, तुम्हारे करने पे भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, तो continue in that problem. You are trying to come out of it, but you're not. Leave it. God will help you one day, and then you'll come out of it. Right? That's what you are saying.
Yeah,
So,
Prabhuji, is that
so no,
surrender, or what is surrender
correct.
actually?
And what is surrender, right? But you referred surrender with this kind of example, right?
Yeah,
That there is a
yeah,
problem. So yeah. All right. So let me answer, and you can again question me. Okay, if that doesn't satisfy you, and I'm going to answer you with whatever partial realization, little realization I have. See, surrender. So if let's go to on a material plane. हमें कोई तकलीफ आई. Some problem came in my life. Remember one thing. God help those who help themselves. That fundamental remains same.
okay.
But God help those who help themselves. That means we are in a problem because of our own karma. Correct?
Yeah,
Now, so first of all, we should understand surrendering to bahut baat ki baat hai. Okay. Of course, if you ask this question to Gaurang Prabhu or to Radhesham Prabhu or Gaur Gopal Prabhu or very senior devotees who are completely dedicated, or to Radhanath Maharaj ji, or to my spiritual master Jayapataka Swami, they will answer in a much more broader and a deeper way. मैं तो उतना knowledgeable नहीं हूँ. I'm not that knowledgeable as these stalwart devotees, but I can tell you with my experience that whatever is happening somewhere we are linked to our own karma. Karma creates a situation for us, and it's cycles of reactions. Assume that today you are in a problem. What will you do? You use your best Krishna conscious ways to come out of that problem. First of all, take a step back. How is this problem come? Is it because of for some small things which we have assumed in life? I say, for example, there was a red signal, but you had to go to temple. You still cross the red signal. What will police wala do? Catch you. So that kind of mistakes you should not do. Bring that humbleness component in your mind, that I have been trapped in this somewhere past. I must have done some birth. So that way, what you will do, but try to use your best Krishna conscious knowledge, best material alternatives to see how to come out of that problem. See, devotees should understand that in material world, you cannot have problems solved only spiritually. Although the whole material world is spiritually based on material world, but please understand, there are certain obligations of material world that ask you. Say, for example, bhook lagi hai. You can't say, you have heard my Bhagavatam, now don't eat food ever. भूख ही नहीं लगनी चाहिए. अरे क्यों नहीं लगेगी भाई? Body है, chemical reactions हो रहे हैं. So think like that. So whenever we are in a problem, think practically what you can do. For God, there is nothing material spiritual. Remember one thing, for Krishna supporting you, if you take material help also to come out of the problem, Krishna will say, why is she doing? Why? If you are in a loan and you want to change your job, because in the first job you are not able to pay EMI, now some devotee comes and says, why did you take a loan itself? Ab, agar, so that way, so then you will know, why did you take a loan? Then why did you keep a fridge? Why did you? So you're getting my problem, so many, because you are in material world. Even temple has a fridge. What can you talk about home fridge? Some devotees say tamasic food हो जाता है, fridge ही नहीं होना चाहिए. अरे, how do you survive in Delhi? 10 minutes curd cannot be kept outside. So think from a very perspective, material, spiritual, whatever, mix it and see whatever best to your intelligent capability. Try to come out of that problem. Don't take wrong routes spiritually and materially. Wrong route spiritually, don't go. सब किसी ने कहा, अरे Krishna consciousness, nothing will happen. Go and worship देवी देवता. अरे ठीक है, देवी देवता की वर्शिप बुरी नहीं है. Nobody says deny worshipping them. Prabhupada himself says, on the NOD. But they are ministers. You go to Devi Devta, they will also say, we will help you with the help of Krishna. So that's a wrong route. No, directly go to Krishna. Krishna is there. Demigods will be more pleased when you go directly to Krishna. So Devi Devtas. So that is wonderful. So that way your spiritual efforts are taken care. Take help of the prayers of the devotees to come out of that problem. Material also, try to see. If you have taken a loan and you lost a job, go and attend interviews. Try to take help. Somebody gives you reference and someone company goes. That's not wrong. It's okay. Population is so high. Think time, place, circumstances, but don't do wrong. Don't do cheating. Don't do wrong things, even spiritually and materially. You're getting my point, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then, when you are done with the best of your efforts, materially, spiritually, surrender. That is surrender to Krishna. Because you have God help those who help themselves. Once you have done your best, then pray to Krishna. Krishna, I have done. I think I cannot do better than this. Now, please help me, Krishna. My mother is down with cancer. The best treatment I can give her is I'm giving Ayurveda, homeopathic, and allopathic. She's getting chemo. She's taking Ayurvedic, Prema Vinodni Mataji's medicines, and she's also taking homeopathy. And she's taking Tulsi drops. So many things I'm doing for my mother. One person heard me, what are all you doing? I said, I don't want to think that I didn't take this step for my mother. Just 3 days back, she has cancer now in hip and femur bone in thigh and knee bone. She just went through radiations. So much side effects she's having. But I'm doing best. And on top of that, she's having allopathic, Ayurvedic, everything, whatever I can do for my mother, but balancing out, not mixing the medicine, but balancing out with lot of intelligence. I can put Krishna. I read out her PET scan reports. I read her. I talk to doctors. I plan out with doctors. I read so much about cancer. Is it a negative sense of cancer? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained medician. But who has taught me to know about cancer? I don't want to talk about cancer all the time. Don't get scared. But I'm just telling you, that's an example. I am in a deep problem financially also. But I keep working. Okay, chalo, interview denge, kuch karenge. Do your best. But I continue going to Sundays. I continue meeting devotees. I continue associating with devotees. In the end, Krishna says, हो गया, कर रहे हैं, तुम बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हूँ प्रभु, अब मुझसे इससे ज्यादा नहीं होता, अब मैं थक गया हूँ, मैं थक रहा हूँ, please help me. And you pray. If the help doesn't come, continue praying. फिर तो devotees को बोलो, please ask Krishna to help me. Please ask Krishna to help me. Then one and 2 Sundays back, I asked every devotee, and then there was an announcement in the temple, and they said, Hare Krishna for my mother. So I am in a problem. I don't know which problem, Mataji, you have. I have a visible problem. But what am I doing? I'm doing everything. I give 1 hour, 2 hours. Whenever my dad calls me, I leave everything and attend him and make sure. And he's, at an 84 year, my mother is 75, father is 83. Both of them, my father sometimes forget things. I have to remind him 10 times. So much of vocal cords, so much of strength. Sometimes I am sleeping 5 hours, but I consider this all as peaceful. That Krishna, if you ask me, my dear son, have you done the best to take care of this situation? I am doing the best to take care of my mom, my family, my wife, my child. Nothing more than this I can do. I am doing best to give Krishna consciousness to my child. I'm doing best to serve Krishna. I'm not saying I'm stopping here. I'll do more and more. But Buddha bhi ho raha hu na. I'm getting old also. I'm getting tired. Krishna, help me. And then the prayers will work. If the prayers work or not work, but I know Krishna is there. He's listening to me. You also do that. I can just narrate my own. कहते ना यारा देखे तारा कहे Shri Krishna उपदेश. I am following what I am practicing, and I'm preaching you the same point. I don't know if somebody can answer you. And in this process, you are doing the best to both the worlds and to best to the Lord, to your family members, to come out of the problem. That is surrender. That is surrender. That will not be surrender if you run away from Krishna and go to some other to seek arrangement. So spiritually you depend upon Krishna, and materially you try to take efforts to come out of the problem. Mix them together and have faith on Krishna. That is surrender. Live the entire life. What two problems? Live your entire life like this. Does it
Okay.
answer you?
Yeah, Prabhuji, very clearly. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was wonderful with your experience. It's absolutely clear to me now how
That's
things.
all. You don't have to think wrong. Don't overthink. Don't underthink. Think as much as it is required. भूख लगी है तो खाना पड़ेगा ना बाबा. फंस गए रेगिस्तान में. You are stuck in a aeroplane where it is about to get a landing. So many incidents are happening. I don't want all this thing. I mean, sarve jana sukhino bhavantu, sarve santu. Everybody should be benefited, Mataji. A devotee prays for everybody. He doesn't pray ill for anybody. Think like this. Prabhu, मैं किसी का बुरा नहीं करूंगी. I will not do bad to anybody. I will not do anything. I will just help me, Krishna. Just help me, Krishna. I will continue doing my best. Krishna's help will come. If it comes late, it will come. Krishna के द्वार में देर है अंधेर नहीं. He takes time because God knows you have to go through certain things in life, and things will solve one day. Of course, if you reach to spiritual world, everything is solved. ये सब चीजें will be like a dirt from your kapda. Cloth has lot of dust. Just Krishna, I'm back in spiritual world. Hey, hip hip hooray. Run. You're running with Krishna. Enjoying. No, man. Krishna will say, hey, you were in material world. Hey, I don't want to know that. I'm happy with you in spiritual world. Hey, कौन जाएगा उधर यार? उधर परेशानी है. वापस एक शरीर, वापस वूम के अंदर, वापस पैदा होगा, वापस ऑफिस, वापस ये श्रीलंका, चाइना, इंडिया, यूएस, अमेरिका, भारत, ये वो कंफ्यूजन बाबा. तेरे स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में रहूंगा. I want to be with you in the spiritual world. I am happy to be with you. बस अपने पास रख, दूर मत लेके जा. Don't send me out from you anywhere. Krishna, take me. I will serve you. Whatever you will do, I'll serve you. Take me to spiritual world. That is how I pray. I don't know how others pray. मेरे को तो यही सरेंडर पता है. यही डेफिनेशन मुझे आती है. मुझे इससे ज्यादा एक लफ्ज भी नहीं आता. और अगर कोई मेरे गुरु महाराज मुझे और सिखा सके तो मैं सीखने को तैयार हूँ. और वो बेचारे सिखाते हैं. That is what my Guru Maharaj does. Jayapataka Swami is so wonderful devotee. Yesterday I saw one video sent by Radhanath Maharaj's disciple. Radhanath Swami, so much Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj is suffering from bodily, but you see his intensity towards Krishna is increasing. Hari Bol, everybody saying Hare Krishna. You got my point, Mataji, what I am trying to make.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
This process is surrender. इतना करो, surrender यही होता है. Surrender कोई अलग से कोई, it's not a cake which you eat. You behave, surrender is behaving. You live surrendered life, You won't even know that you are surrendered. This is natural for you. Surrendership is our natural behavior to Krishna. Jivera Sarup Hoye Krishna Nitya Das. We are the servants of Krishna. That means not the mundane servant. We are the part and parcel. Mamai Vamsho Jivaloke. Otherwise, he would have never said, you are my Jivera Sarup Hoye Krishna. You are my Das. You are not my child. No, he's saying you are my servant. But actually, all the spiritualists, they say Krishna is a bigger servant than us we serve. You all know Krishna serves us more than what we serve Krishna. I take a pause here because then the class will continue. You asked us a good question. I couldn't stop myself.
Thank you
Got a
so
point?
much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
And our
Hari
prayers
Bol.
for, we'll
Hari
chant
Bol,
a
like
round
that.
of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Prabhuji's mother's
Yes,
health.
yes. Yeah, yeah,
Hare
yeah.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Rama
कृपा
Hare
सिंधुभ्य
Krishna.
एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'll end the class, Prabhuji.